What's happening, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. I am Dial here with another movie review. Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes is going to be out in theaters this weekend. So we're going to go back and talk about the previous modern Planet of the Apes films. We're going to be talking about the third installment of the modern Planet of the Apes films, War for the Planet of the Apes. I'm saying Planet of the Apes a lot. But anyway, let's get into this. So I have been loving the modern Planet of the Apes films. It definitely reinvigorated the franchise for a lot of people, brought new life into it. And in my opinion, these are some of the best films that have been released over the past decade or so. Like, they are absolutely incredible. And Andy Serkis has done such an amazing job playing Caesar. The motion capture, all of that is incredible. And the character development for these CGI apes, it's just amazing. Amazing storytelling. And Matt Reeves, I thought, did a really good job taking over the franchise after Rise. He did a really good job with Dawn. And so they decided to bring him back for the third film. And I was really excited to see what he was going to do. At the time, I guess, they were setting this up to be the last one of the modern Planet of the Apes films. So this was at the time going to be a trilogy, and so I was like, okay, that's completely cool with me. Let's see how it ends off. Is so far, if the third movie is of the same quality as the first two, I think we'll be in for an amazing set of films. Um, and I was from the marketing, I was really excited for it. It made it seem like it was going to be like this. What is this, like Return of the King, Braveheart type of thing, where we're actually going to see like a full out war of the apes versus the humans. So I just getting more and more into the apes becoming the dominant species on the planet, or slowly getting to that point, and the humans starting to evolve because of the spread of the disease that came out. So yeah, all that, I'm just interested to see how everything just unfolds. And after watching this movie, man, this was excellent. Absolutely excellent. They they did it again. Matt Reeves did an amazing job with War for the Planet of the Apes. I'm so glad that these set of films turned out as great as they did. Um, and honestly, I thought this was one of the best films of 2017 when it came out. And it frustrates me that this movie did not get the attention that it deserved. This really should have been nominated for Best Picture. I thought it was that great. Um, and it's like this also may go down as one of the best trilogies ever made. I'm not joking. Like, all three of these films have such amazing storytelling, amazing performances. Just it's just incredible. Now, that being said, I do love this film, but I did not enjoy this as much as Dawn. Honestly, this is probably my least favorite of the three, but it does not take away with how great the movie is. It's still an amazing film, but I did find myself having a few more issues than I did with the previous two movies. Before we go any further, I guess we would have to address a couple of the elephants in the room. Um, the misleading in the advertisement, because that seems to be one of the biggest issues that people has had with this movie going into it. Because the marketing make it seem like it is going to be this huge battle for this film, like it was going to be like a Return of the King slash Braveheart level film. Going to see a whole bunch of fights between the apes and the humans. Like I said, the movie is called War for the Planet of the Apes, and the movie's not quite that. Now, are there battles between the apes and the humans? Yes, there is a huge battle in the beginning of the film, and there's a huge battle at the end of the film. But the movie is not really a war film. I mean, it's a movie that's set, I guess, kind of in war times, but it's not solely a war film. It's actually a prison break movie, which caught me by surprise. But Yeah, it's just I kind of blame the marketing for giving us some like these certain expectations going in, and then when the movie is something completely different, like I could see why people were kind of upset about that. Like you even see the poster for War for the Planet of the Apes, and you see like Caesar leading this army of apes versus the army of humans. If you look up the poster, that it made it seem like it's going to be a huge war battle in this movie, and it's not really that. So I'll say this: if you go, I would say avoid watching trailers if you haven't seen this movie. Like go into it with an open mind, and you know, don't let the title mislead you. Like if you take it for what it is, that for the most part this film is like a drama slash prison break movie. If you take it in as that, I think the movie will I think the movie will work a lot better for you. Take it for what it is. Because for what it is, it's still a great movie. It's still very well written. It still has compelling characters, and there still is some really good action scenes in here. But don't. But it's not really war. To be honest, Dawn and War probably should have switched titles. I think the second film should have been called War for the Planet of the Apes, and then the third film should have been called Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. I think that would have made a little bit more sense to not like completely mislead the audience there. But anyway, getting into my actual thoughts on the film. So once again, what I love about this movie is Caesar. Caesar. He is the main person that keeps these movies together. We follow his character throughout all three of these films, and he goes through such a journey throughout all three of these movies. Putting He's put in circumstances that he didn't want to be in. He's the one experimented on. He's the one that's been given the serum to make him smarter. And him just trying to find his place in the world, actually, being able to be himself instead of not being confined to, the essentially what was a prison when he was being cared for James Franco's character in the first film, being treated as a pet. But like that's not who he is. He's an ape, and like he's becoming smarter and smarter and smarter to the point where he helps to liberate other apes so they can have freedom of their own, and the eventual just conflict between the humans and the apes is just all very very compelling. Um, ever since the attack that Koba has created in the second film, it's like it's just causing more and more animosity between the humans and the apes, and it's now gotten to a point where Caesar is just becoming less and less open to coexisting with the humans in general. Like he just wants nothing to do with it. Especially now in this film, they double down on that. Caesar is going through a lot of loss and trauma in this film. It's like to the point where he is completely losing faith in humanity, you know, especially because now he has a family. He has a wife, he has two kids. And it's like I'm not going to spoil what happens for, people that haven't seen the movie yet, but like he goes through a lot of pain and anguish in this film. And it's like it's getting to a point where it's like while the first two films actually felt like there was kind of a balance of I understand where the humans are coming from and then I understand where the apes are coming from. There's not really a black and white, but you really see like the dark side of humanity in this film. You know, you you see like what humanity is willing to do when they are desperate, when they are afraid. And it's like it's at this you still kind of see why the humans act the way they do because their kind is being killed off by this disease, and the apes becoming more evolved, so it's like they're afraid of becoming an endangered species or even extinct. And so but you just see what the humans are willing to do, like what risks they're willing to take, what lives they're willing to take away in order for them to survive. And Caesar is getting the brunt of that. Um, and it's just becoming harder and harder to keep the apes alive under his leadership because more and more apes die in this. And it's like he did not want the bloodshed. He does not want this war. He didn't want it from the beginning. He just wanted freedom and he wanted peace. And it seems like he can't even get that. And it's just really painful to see that. Andy Serkis does an amazing job conveying all these emotions through the motion capture. I'm sure this is a no-brainer for a lot of people, but like I said, the motion capture, this is the best it's ever looked. This is the best looking of the three. Like at this point, these are apes. Like these are not, these can't be CGI. This cannot be CGI. Just look at the texture on their fur. Look at how like it's, you know, whenever it's in its environment, it looks like it's actually there. Like you see, like when there's rain, when they're in the mud, when they're sweating, like the pores on their face, once again, just how they're conveying emotion, like just the emotion in the eyes, like it's there. It's there. Like this is this type of motion capture is one of the few that comes close to being the quality of Avatar. I'm not saying that it's better than Avatar, but I'm just saying as far as the attention to detail with the motion capture, this is probably the closest it's ever been to Avatar. And I'll give it to Jungle Book and Lion King as well because their motion capture is great. But I don't even think they get the details that Planet of the Apes does. Like these apes actually feel and look real. Like they actually trained apes to talk and fight and ride on horses and hold guns. This is insane. And it's going to be very, very interesting to see them even more evolved in Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes when they're just full on talking. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be nuts. But yeah, it's great. This is some of the best special effects I've seen in a film. It really is. I'm glad I think it got nominated for visual effects at the Oscars too. They at least got recognized for that, but also needed to be nominated for Best Picture and give Andy Serkis a freaking nomination because, like, I think honestly, this is probably. I think I'll say it. This is his best performance in a film. I'll say that. I will definitely say that. Yeah. Do I think it's better than Gollum? Yeah. Do I think it's better than King Kong? Yes. Do I think it's better than Snoke? Yes. Better than Alfred as in the Batman? Yes. I think this is the best performance that Andy Serkis has ever done. And I can't believe he still has not gotten recognition for this performance. It's second to none. Like, what else does he have to do at this point? I don't know if obviously he'll continue to do great performances, but it's just like, what does Andy Serkis got to do to get recognized? It's ridiculous. But the rest of the cast I thought was really, really good. Once again, Maurice. I haven't talked about Maurice as much in Dawn, but I thought Maurice was really, really good. A very great companion to Caesar, being like the voice of reason for him. And I thought that was absolutely great. And Maurice actually tries to have connections with the humans. We'll talk about Nova in a minute, but like I just like that, Maurice is one of the few apes that actually tries to see hope in humanity. Sees everything on a positive note, looking on the bright side of things, and that's something that you definitely need, in a movie like this because of all the crazy, horrible things that happens in this movie. It's just nice to see somebody that has a hope and optimism still. And okay, so apparently in this movie they adopt a little girl named Nova, which I guess is a callback to the original films. And I thought Nova was fine. There wasn't too much character with Nova, because she didn't speak at all. And I think that's just, I would say it was almost like a plot device just to show that, the apes and the humans, there still is that little glimmer of hope that they can coexist. And just seeing that humans, even with some of their own kind, they're being careless because she was left for dead pretty much. So I just wish that we were able to get a little bit more character with her And I know she's a little girl, so there's only so much you can do, and she doesn't talk. But there was some nice bonding moments between Maurice and Nova, which I thought was nice. Um, and we have another new ape that they introduced in here called Bad Ape, played by Steve Zahn, and I actually really liked him. Now he's another character that a lot of people were kind of mixed on because he seemed a bit silly. I don't agree. I thought he worked for the film very very well. Once again, another character to help bring some levity to this very very dark and heavy film. And I didn't think the humor was too much. Obviously you could tell that Bad Ape was abused by humans, and you kind of can feel that in the performance. While he is being a little goofy, like there is some mannerisms and ticks that it feels like it's a character that's been through some trauma, you know. So I just kind of felt that with him. But like once again, like I just and like when they're trying when the Caesar is trying to ask Bad Ape to lead him to the human concentration camp, he always like, no, 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 I can't, no, it's too dangerous. Da, da, da. It's like you feel like he's seen some stuff, you know. So it's like I didn't think it was a complete goofy character, you know. So I thought he was a really good addition to it. Um, Now talking about the main antagonist of the film, the Colonel, played by Woody Harrelson, I thought he was great. I am already a Woody Harrelson fan. Though I'll be honest, I didn't really know how to feel about him being casted in this movie because I've never seen Woody Harrelson in this type of role before, but he nailed it. He absolutely nailed it. And I was worried that he was going to be a one-dimensional villain because he just seemed pretty much straight up evil. But once again, watching him in the context of the film, you understand why does what he does. Like he goes about his methods in a very malicious way, but once again, he is someone that has been through trauma and loss just as much as Caesar. He lost his family because of all of this happening with the diseases and the apes um, uprising and stuff like that. So he's gone to a point where once again, like he has animosity for the apes, because of stuff that was out of Caesar's control, but was indirectly caused by Caesar and the apes and the disease that spread to the humans. And he lost his family, and he couldn't get over that. And so he wants to make sure that that stuff never happens again. So I was very, very happy that they still tried to give the humans a little bit more dimension, even though they are being more antagonizing in this film. So Woody Harrelson, I thought, did an excellent performance. You know, I was worried that they were going to make him a little bit silly, because I can't get out of my head Zombieland and Venom, and that he wasn't that character at all, and I was very very relieved about that. Um, the action scenes, once again, I thought were really really good. There's mainly two really big battle sequences, as I said, because for the most part, this is a prison break movie where Caesar is trying to break the apes out of the concentration camp that Woody Harrelson is running, which I thought that was pretty clever. How they planned out everything to escape the apes. It was very intricate, and it's just showing more of how the apes are getting smarter and smarter to the point where they're able to get all the apes out, outsmart the humans, all that stuff. I thought that was great. But yeah, there are mainly two big battle sequences in the beginning of the film and the end of the film. That's probably the closest thing that actually felt like a war battle sequence, which I thought was very, very well done. There's a whole avalanche sequence that was very thrilling. It's all that battle in the woods, all that stuff, like apes throwing grenades, all that was excellent. But like that, honestly, that wasn't really the focus. This was really more of a drama, which I really appreciated that. And once again, for people that were expecting this to be like a big war movie, like I understand your frustration, but like I don't really go to these movies for the action, even though the action is great. I really go for the character moments and the drama. And that's what I really got. The character development and the drama to make me care for his stuff, because like I don't action to me is just visual noise if I don't care about the characters. And these films do a really good job developing those characters. It's all about the drama and the conflict and the tension and the suspense. That's what these movies' strengths are. Um, Now, that being said, though, I did feel the movie's pacing quite a bit. This movie is slower than the first two films, and there were a couple of moments that kind of went a little too slow for me, you know. And this movie, I think this is the longest of the Planet of the Apes films. I think it's like 2 hours and 20 minutes, and I do feel it's runtime. You know, like they're taking their sweet time trying to elaborate this prison break, and I think there were just certain moments that could have went a little bit faster for me. Um, so, and hearing that Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes is going to be even longer than this, it's actually I think it's going to reach the 2.5 hour mark. I'm just hoping that the pacing in that is better, with it being the longest film of the Planet of the Apes movies. Um, but yeah, so, and even though like I, I'm not going to spoil what happens at the end. And I thought it was a beautiful send off to this trilogy in general. Though I wish we got a little bit more build up to that, because a prison break I wouldn't think would be the proper ending to a trilogy. It's still very well written, but as far as like just actually building off to this being the send off to this era of the story, I think there could have been a little bit better of a build up to that. But the actual ending of the film I thought was absolutely beautiful. Like excellently, excellently written, all that stuff, very very good. But those are my overall thoughts on War for the Planet of the Apes. I think this is a great film, and it's just amazing to see Caesar's journey throughout this entire film, trying his best to keep with the coexistence between apes and humans, but he's being pushed farther and farther to the edge. And even when there's moments that he does want to kill humans, he tries his best not to, because he knows it will cause more and more bloodshed. Where the humans and even some of the apes are like quicker to, kill each other. Caesar, while he's still being pushed to the breaking point, he still does not want to kill unnecessarily. And that's what just makes him a great leader and a great, I was gonna say person, but he's not. I don't. Is he really a person? But like, it's just he's an amazing character. This what just makes him an amazing character, an amazing leader, and his absence will be felt throughout these new films that they're trying to put out. And I hope his legacy will be carried on with these new Planet of the Apes films that are being made if Kingdom is successful. But yeah, man. I thought the supporting characters were great. The special effects was amazing. It's just a very well written film. While yes, I was a bit surprised that they went a different route with it being a prison break movie. It still didn't take away from the quality of the film. So I will give War for the Planet of the Apes an A minus. But those are my thoughts on War for the Planet of the Apes. What did you guys think about it? Did you guys love it? Did you guys hate it? Did you guys think it was okay? How does it compare to the previous two movies? And how does it compare to the rest of the Planet of the Apes franchise? Comment your thoughts down below and let me know. So, all we got to do is wait for Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes to come out. That is the next film I will be talking about. So, tune in for that when it comes out. But if you guys enjoyed this review, please don't forget to leave a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. And don't forget to hit the bell if you want to be notified on future videos I'll be doing. But that's all I have for you Planet of the Apes fans, and I will see you guys next time. Talk to you guys later. Apes together, strong.